What's up, YouTube? It's Ryan from AnnihilatorMTG here, and today, as requested, I'm going to be playing some more Grixis Control. I've decided to do a pretty aggressive rebuild of the deck with some rather drastic changes. So, first and foremost, we're going to be dropping the Spell Snare for an additional counterspell in the 2-drop slot. Now, I'm not 100% on this change, but I do want to test it out. In addition to that, we're going to be swapping out the Thought Scours in favor of Opt for a little bit of consistency. Now, as you can imagine, with a change like this, we're also going to be choosing to play with a mixture of Mana Leaks and Remands instead of the Drown in the Lock. The idea here is that Thought Scouring our opponents to set up for the Drown can sometimes hurt us quite a bit, and quite frankly, in this metagame, we cannot afford to do this. In an attempt to better streamline the build, I've also decided to cut 2 K commands, the Nicol Bolas the Ravager, a copy of Cryptic Command, and the End the Story. With all of this added space, we're going to be bringing in an extra Charm, 2 Force of Negations, and 2 copies of Jace the Mind Sculptor. I don't think I've made any changes to the sideboard, so we should be good there. And this build is incredibly blue heavy, which is absolutely perfect for Force of Negation. I feel like this list is sort of a happy compromise between the accepted control decks of the metagame in 2021 and the Grixis Control that we know and love. So, without further ado, let's head into the first match and see how it goes. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And this hand seems spectacular, actually, so we're keeping it. See what you got, opponent. Looks like they kept 7, and they're just hard passing, which is interesting. I wonder if that's a mistake or they're playing something crazy. Nope, they're just going to main phase 2, and they go Fiery Islet. Alright. We draw a mountain, which is a little annoying, but that's okay. Let's go Bloodstained Mire. See what they do. They go Opt. Okay. I wonder if this is some kind of combo. They untap and draw. They go main phase Scalding Tarn. They crack it. Steam Vents untapped. Okay. Then a Serum Visions. So this must be some kind of Storm variant, or really is just a combo deck, because I would not expect both Opt and Serum Visions, although hey, maybe it could be some kind of crazy control build. I love Serum Visions. So let's go Watery Grave should be fine. We untap, see what we got. Force of Negation, that certainly helps. Let's go Delta. All right, they untap, they draw for turn, and they go Stomping Ground. Whoa, that's interesting. Not quite what I expected. So I'm going to search here only because we have Force backup. Otherwise, I would just pass because I don't want them playing anything at instant speed that could absolutely wreck us. But we're going to put this in tapped and nothing from them. That's good. And another Remand. Excellent. So here's our third island. Mystic Sanctuary is officially online. All right, see what you got, opponent. 3 mana. Brazen Borrower. Interesting. If they're just going to cast it like that, do we Remand it or do we Charm it? That's tough. I guess go with a tempo play. Just Remand. We get a Watery Grave. That's fine. It's not perfect, but it's fine. So now we're tapped out, or not tapped out, but we're mostly tapped out. They can go a Jace if they want to, but they're just going to let us untap, which is interesting. Let's go Mountain. We've got a Cryptic, we've got a Charm, a Force, a Remand, a Snap. We're in a great spot here. They crack the Scalding Tarn. Yep. They go Island. Let's go Cryptic, actually. Let's do Counter Draw. And then a Lightning Bolt in response. All right. Interesting. I was like, are we going to see a Spell Pierce? Simian Spirit Guide. Did I just see that? See, it says Simian Spirit Guide. What's going on here? Is this some kind of, like, weird Through the Breach deck that's running Spirit Guide? That is such an unfortunate misclick in Magic Online. I've made it many times. As foretold, huh? Interesting. Let's do Force Pitch Snap. And it worked. Okay. So their hand is what? Spirit Guide and 3 unknowns? Should be all unknown if it was, you know, completely fair, but let's not pretend not to know the information. They untap and draw 5 cards in hand, Greater Gargadon, and a Lightning Bolt. Okay, well, this is interesting, isn't it? Let's crack this and go Cryptic, and they scoop it up. Excellent. Guess they saw the writing on the walls there. Let's go Disputes. I think they're going to be necessary. I could be wrong, though. I don't think we need the pushes at all. The Clings are likely fine. We could just go with this and just kind of go from there. I don't think we need to worry about pretty much anything else right now anyways. So let's ship this and see how we perform. All right, so no lands, can't keep that. We'll mulligan. This is certainly better. We keep and let's ship the Sanctuary. Well, what have you got for us, opponent? You kept 7, then you go Steam Vents untapped, Serum Visions, I like that. We go Steam Vents. Part of me really wants to make an instant speed through the Breach deck work, and what I mean by instant speed is like you do it during your opponent's end step and kind of just go from there. That way you can kind of have force protection. They go As Foretold. Interesting. Let's go Force Pitch Jace. So it's very interesting that they're trying to really get an As Foretold out quickly, which is odd. Charm on top, sure, that's fine. We get an island, that's pretty good. That means that we're going to save the Delta for a Mystic Sanctuary. So we're going to be exposed for 1 turn. Hopefully that's fine. We did take 2 cards out of their hand last turn. They go Serum Visions. Although it looks like they're better at filtering, whereas we're better at getting a mass amount of cards. And an Ancestral. Okay, why don't you just go Electro Dominance? Because that's just 2 mana as it is, and you don't really need to worry about doing something like a Spirit Guide. And you can kind of use it to clean up the board too. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's go Watery Grave. We draw. There's an opt. Let's go Snow-Covered Island. We can hold up the charm if need be. If not, we'll likely just opt at the end of turn, the end of their turn specifically. We do need to account for this Ancestral. We really don't want them to leverage that in any meaningful way anyways. So they play a land. Let's go opt. Another land, no thanks. We get a mana leak, that's okay. We draw for turn. Steam Vents. Let's go Delta. We can do some interesting things with this, actually. They get a Steam Vents tapped. They take a counter off the Ancestral. Ooh, and they just pass. Excellent. Well, I've got some pretty gnarly ideas here. Let's go Charm. We drew 2. Then we crack the Delta. We get a Sanctuary. Then we get the Charm back. Beautiful. We draw the Charm. Let's go Steam Vents untapped. And now we basically have everything we need. We've got a Cryptic. We can bounce the Sanctuary. We can go Charm with Mana Leak back up. We can go K Command with Mana Leak back up. Yeah, this is just great. And once again, our opponent is just kind of dirtling around aimlessly. All right, let's draw 2. What have we here? 3 mana. Nice. All right, let's leak it. And we get a Mystical Dispute. Perfect. That should be very useful. So we have enough mana for Dispute plus Cryptic. We're probably going to just Cryptic the Ancestral Vision, just because we can't deal with that. And then we could use Dispute to protect the Cryptic. Let's go Counter Return. Now, hopefully this is enough to get them to just scoop it up. They've got 2 mana here. Is it Charm? That's something I haven't seen in a while. We Dispute. Very nice. And very nice. Okay. And our opponent scoops it up. Looks like they've had enough. GG. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend, and won the die roll. Good stuff. So, 2 landers can sometimes be a little bit restrictive, but when you have a Remand, that's pretty darn good. We can deal with pretty much anything with a hand like this, which is just absolutely tremendous. Let's go Steam Vents tapped. We could go untapped and just hold up a Bolt, but I don't think that's entirely necessary, not in this meta anyways. They go Bobble. Okay, interesting. They crack it. They go Polluted Delta. They go Bobble again. They crack it. And are they really just passing? Wow. Okay, that's fine. We'll yield to those triggers. All right, there's a Dreadbore, which is fine. Especially if we're playing against a Death Shadow deck, that's actually pretty good. We shall pass. They crack the Polluted Delta, sure. They go Watery Grave untapped. Let's respond accordingly. We'll get our own untapped. And nothing, so definitely a Death Shadow deck. They go Delta. Very interesting indeed. All right, let's go Opt. This is definitely risky, but I feel like it's worth it. Second Bolt, no thanks. There we go. All right, I will do the same. I don't want to be in a scenario where our opponent plays something, we respond to it, and then they play something else. I'd rather just be able to just counter whenever I feel like it. They go Steam Vents. They go Watery Grave, untapped. They're down to 12. There's a Death Shadow. That's fine. Will we see a second one? We will see a Bobble. Let's go Push. There's a Stubborn Denial. Wait, pay 1? Yeah, we could do that, though. Okay, so waste a Stubborn Denial. Interesting. They crack the Bobble, and they just pass. Very strange. We get our 4th land, which is a happy surprise, indeed. Now we can do things like hold up Force, hold up Remand. We can go Snap Push, Snap Opt. We've got plenty of options here. They cycle a Street Wraith. We can also go Bolt past the turn Snap Bolt if they get low enough. I mean, they're down to 10. We don't want to help them out too much with their Shadow, Power, and Toughness, but still, getting underneath them is kind of the name of the game. They play their 4th Bobble. They crack it. So, do we go Snap Opt, or do we just wait? I feel like we just wait. We have so many tools as it is. And another Remand, yeah, let's just hold steady. They go Scalding Tarn. Here comes an Inquisition. How much do we care about that? Well, let's go Remand number 1 and just see where that takes us. All right, that's fine. They crack the Scalding Tarn. Interesting. They go Blood Crypt. Yeah. Okay. This is going to seem real weird, but let's do it again. There's a push. Okay. There's a Death Shadow. Excellent. Okay, this is great, actually. And a Cling to Dust. So, I think we can probably just go push, make him have it. There's a Stubborn Denial. All right, why not? Let's do it. The Shadow died. That's good. So now we pass. We've got a Bolt in hand, a Cling, a Dreadbore, a Snapcaster Mage. They're likely going to shoot off the Inquisition. Let's take the opportunity to hit them with a Bolt. Interesting situation. If they play another Shadow, it doesn't necessarily matter if they take the Snap or not, because we just have the Dreadbore for follow-up. So they kind of have to take the Snap, and we just get another one. Let's go Cling their Inquisition. We hit an Opt. That's good. All right, we can just pass. Or do we want to go... Let's go Sorcery Speed Opt, actually. K Command? Ooh, okay. I like that. I like that quite a bit, in fact. Thought Scour on themselves, sure. They lose a Cling and a Delta. That Cling could be very useful for them. Oh, this seems like a mistake. They're now in Bolt range. Don't tell me they're going to Cling at Sorcery Speed. All right, we go Snap, target the Bolt. They scoop it up. All right. So, Death Shadow, what do we want? Mystical Dispute's probably great for the Stubborn Denial wars. A lot of people are like, yeah, just side out the bolts. They're not important. The thing is it's like the bolts are kind of how you get underneath them a lot of the time, as you just saw. I hate taking out bolts against these guys. Forces are fine. Charms are fine for obvious reasons. K Command is good for sure. Kess might be a little bit win more, actually, and Jace too. I think I like making these decks a little bit leaner. So let's look at something like this. And maybe we do one of these. Let's take out like a Bloodstained Mire and then go Surgicals. Make them incredibly narrow with their threats. A lot of people are probably going to be like, dude, that won't work. But I actually kind of like that in this scenario. This hand is absurdly not keepable. So we're going to ship that one back. This is certainly better by a long stretch. Let's go... How much do we care about basics? It's not like they're going to be running anything. So let's get rid of the island. They go Bobble. They crack it. They go Watery Grave. Untapped. Now, do we care enough to play the Surgical? I don't think we do. I think we just let them take it out of fear, or they can take the dispute, whatever. Yep, and they took it out of fear. Good stuff. If anything, it serves as marvelous Thoughtseize protection. They got a Bobble trigger. There's a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, let's go Bloodstained Mire. Next turn, if we want, we can literally just go Snap Surgical. You only really need 2 mana for that, which is wild. All right, our opponent draws. They're up to 6 cards. They go Blood Crypt. Untapped, no doubt. Then they go Soul Guide Lantern. Interesting. Very interesting. They exile the Surgical, sure, that's fine. Weirdly specific card for this matchup. It can definitely help them for sure, but I'm not too scared of it. They go Thought Scour themselves in response. They hit a Thoughtseize, a TBR, sure. Let's go Watery Grave, then Opt. Tar Pit? I don't think so. Sanctuary, that's fine, I guess. There's a Bolt. Bolt can be very good. Let's go Steam Vents Untapped. We can hold up the Dispute. We can hold up the Bolt. They go Basic Swamp, which is interesting. 2 mana. What have we here? And a Gurmag. Interesting. Sure, that's fine. Can always respect the Gurmag. Now, do we go Bolt? Weirdly enough, I think we do. All right, we untap. We're trying to play like 14-dimensional chess here by finding a way to kind of like race them and chump out some of their stuff. All right, our opponent moves to combat. They swing in with a Gurmag, the big fish. They take us down to 10. Okay, then what? Now, we can force them to pop the Soul Guide Lantern, which is fine, I guess. Sure, let's crack this. We'll get a basic island because we need to preserve ourselves a little bit here. All right, then let's go Snap, see if we can scare them. Mystical Dispute? Sure. All right, that works. Well, now we have a blocker at the very least, although we can't play the Lightning Bolt now, which is infinitely obnoxious. We draw for turn. Another Snap. Very interesting. So, what can we do with that? All right, I've got an idea. Let's go Mystic Sanctuary. Choose Opt. Now let's see if we can force them into activating the card. They do. Excellent. Now we go Snap, the bait and switch. We hit the lightning bolt. We target them, hoping that they just don't have any Death Shadows at all, which is a foolish thing to be doing. But I mean, look at what we have. This is kind of playing to our outs. We got them down to 6. I mean, that is impressive at the very least. We could top deck a bolt, get them down to 3, and then just try to figure it out from there. Well, that's one way to handle it. They choose not to attack, which is a foolish idea in my opinion, but that's just me. All right, that's not great. We'll pass. They cycle a Street Wraith, yeah. They go Cling on their Lantern, sure. It's kind of weird. We block with 1. If they have TBR, we're dead regardless, so it doesn't matter. Okay. They play a land that they effectively can't activate, to my knowledge. Let's crack the Bloodstained Mire. We'll get a Steam Vents. We draw K Command. That's interesting. Let's go Blood Crypt, and do we go untapped? I don't think so. I don't think we can attack with the Snapcaster Mage to try to just chump him out, so that's kind of unfortunate, but we'll have to see. They crack the Polluted Delta. This is unbelievably brave. They must have some kind of stubborn denial. There's really no reason for them to be doing this otherwise. They got Thought Scour. Okay. Dispute, Thoughtseize, that's fine. They swing in with the team. We block. Yeah. Do they have a bolt? They have to, right? Oh, they have another fish? I still think we have this. Unless they have a stubborn denial, I still think we actually have this. Okay, well, we'll try it. Let's go return the snap, deal 2. Here comes the stub. Okay, now it's basically just top deck lightning bolt or bust. And that's a mana leak, okay. Well, that was close. That was a lot closer than I expected it to be. So I'm pretty happy with that, all things considered. I think let's take out the surgicals now, just to kind of punk them out a little bit. Honestly, the wildfires are an interesting idea because there's really not going to be running a lot of basics. But I think we can probably just afford to go Kess and then just skip out on the Jaces. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, let's try this. We'll go first. Well, we have protection in the form of mana leak, but our mana is atrocious for what we have in hand. I mean, we can't even play the Dreadbores on turn 3 at this rate, so I actually think we have to mulligan this. Let's go keep, ship the Cryptic. Sure. Let's go Blood Crypt tapped, and we'll pass. All right, looks like our opponent also went down to 6, which is helpful for sure. Although I am worried about Thoughtseize. They could tear us apart with that. They cycle a Street Wraith. They crack a Bloodstained Mire. They go Watery Grave, untapped. They go Mishra's Bauble. They crack it. They check their top card. They go Thought Scour. Interesting. Double Bauble. Wow. All right. Well, that's fine. They got a trigger. They draw 1. And there's a Remand. Okay. Let's go Bloodstained Mire. Things might be coming together. They're tapping a black. Is this going to be a Gurmag? It is. And this is going to be a powerful Remand. Let's go Steam Vents. Hit that fish with a Remand. Very nice. All right. Well, no complaints there. Let's go Watery Grave. Now, we can hardcast a Force of Negation if need be, which is actually kind of nice. I'm definitely willing to do that in the face of hand attack, but we'll have to see. Soul Guide Lantern? That's kind of gross. Actually, you know what? Let's not be idiots here. Let's let that through. Now, while they don't have any mana, make them discard and then pop the artifact. Sure, they get to get the Remand or just blow everything up entirely, but chose not to. Interesting. They discard the Gurmag. Wow. All right. And they're just passing through? No way. So 1 lander from our opponent. This is actually manageable. Well, they bet it all on a Gurmag and then discarded it literally the turn after. They crack the Polluted Delta. All right. What have we got? Steam Vents, untapped, of course, and a Death Shadow. I think I'm going to let that through, which is weird, but feels right. Let's go draw 2. I don't want to steal it just yet, or at all, really, but still. And then we can go Bolt, power it up, which, again, sounds insane. I get that, but still, I feel like we're in a good spot here. Let's go Island. Then we can go with one of these. Something like this, something like that. We go Dreadbore, and it worked. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, yeah. What kind of hand do you have? Either way, they untap. They go Watery Grave number 2. Shocking. They go Death Shadow once again. Let's opt. Mana leak? Oh, yeah. Well, we go for the leak. Nice. And then Death Shadow number 3. Okay. Well, that's kind of annoying. We draw Snapcaster Mage. So we can just go Bolt, Snap, Bolt, can't we? Or do we go Snap Dreadbore? Nah, I think we just go Bolt, Snap, Bolt. This is such a weird game. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have more follow-up. That would be very bad. Well, they were tapping and then they changed their mind. That's interesting. They swing in. Sure. That's fine. We're down to 9. They're paying 3, and then they go Luris. So if I'm understanding this correctly, and I very well might not be, we can go Snap, steal the Death Shadow, have it be big enough to swing in for 4 damage. Then we can just go Bolt on the Luris, swing in for 6. This is such a mixed bag. I think I'm going to let it resolve. Wow, okay. That's kind of crazy. Well, let's go for it. Oh no, I just punted into the stratosphere. Oh lord. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's heinous. Oh man, that is the worst punt ever. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go discard 2 damage. This just got butt ugly. All right, they ditch a Gurmag. It's a fatal push. Okay, that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. Salvaged myself just a touch. Barely. We sort of saved it. We swing in for 2. All right. So we're not out of the woods just yet, and that was the dumbest sequence I think I've done in a long time. But let's take a look. Nothing? All right. Mana Leak. Well, that could work. We move to combat. We swing in. They go Snapcaster Mage. Let's go Mana Leak. They're tapping 1. I don't really know what for. We take them down to 3. That's good. Then we just go for the bolt. Holy smokes. Yeah, towards the end there, what I should have done is I should have tapped Island and non-Island. So I could have gone Snap, Charm, Steal the Death Shadow. But because I tapped 2 out of my 4 blue sources, I kind of locked us out of using the Charm. But we managed to salvage it in the end. Holy smokes, that was crazy. Alrighty, looks like we found our opponent here. Best of luck to you, my friend. And honestly, this hand is pretty good. 4 lands can seem like a lot, but in a control deck like this, assuming we're likely going to be drawing a decent amount of spells, 4 lands will get us there. So this should be fine. We keep, our opponent keeps 7 as well. Now let's see what they're playing. They go Flooded Strand. Okay, we'll hard pass. We draw. Another land. Let's go Bloodstained Mire. We'll pass. Our opponent draws. See what they do. They go basic planes. That's interesting. I wonder if this is some kind of spirit shell or if it's just blue-white control and they happen to draw one of their, 2 or 3 planes. Very interesting. Let's go Watery Grave tapped. We untap and draw. There's a charm. Excellent. Let's go Delta. Once again, we will pass. Our opponent cracks the Flooded Strand. See what they get. They go Steam Vents. Okay. Tapped. Little bit of Jesskai. All right. Maybe even more. They go basic island. It's no problem. Let's crack the Delta. Let's go Steam Vents. Put that in tapped. Bloodstained Mire. Sure. That's fine. More lands, which is pretty ridiculous, all things considered. We'll play it, though. No need to flinch here at all. Our opponent draws for turn. They play a second planes. Very interesting. Normally, if this was some kind of just like generic Jesskai build, I would assume they would go, 4 to 6 basics, most of which are islands. Double planes is very odd to me. Let's crack this. I think we're gonna try to see if they're gonna bite on this. Let's go draw 2, see what they've got. Interesting, it resolves. Okay, let's go Sanctuary, and I would love to have my charm back. We'll hit yes. Beautiful. That was extremely easy. We're gonna pass here, and whatever we discard will likely just be a land, but our opponent seems to be tapping, and I wonder what for. A Lightning Helix, perhaps? Yeah, that's no problem. That's just a card that's now out of their hand. So we dump the mountain. They play one of these flip lands. This is a lot of white specifically and a good amount of red. They go Wildfire. How much do we care about that? Oh, actually, we already lost one of our mountains. So maybe we just go Cryptic. Just go counter draw, see if we can get them to bite on one of their counter spells, and then we just play Steam Vents untapped Jace. It's an interesting idea. But it resolves, which gets us our charm back, interestingly enough. Okay, let's go Tar Pit. I think in this scenario, we just hold up the charm. They know we have it, which is, a bit annoying, but that's actually great because we already have so many lands that we're guaranteed to be able to play. Either way, our opponent is hell-bent on burning us out, so they go for a lightning bolt. Noble idea, that's for sure. Let's charm once again. What do we have here? Another bolt. All right, so they have 2 cards left. We draw a bolt of our own and a Cryptic. Yeah, this is great. Nice. That can be another Sanctuary. Let's go Blood Crypt tapped. Then I think we just hold up the Cryptic plus Cling, Push, or Bolt, and then we'll be fine. Do we just dump the Cling? I think we do, actually. Let's dump the Cling, because we can always replay that from the yard. Our opponent draws 3 cards in hand. All right, here we go. Let's go Bolt. Get that going. Very nice. Let's go Delta. We'll pass for now. See what you got here, opponent. Another Bolt, perhaps? This is an interesting scenario because what we want to kind of avoid is getting ourselves in a position where we can just be manipulated on the stack and then just lose. So I think, oddly enough, we go counter draw, even though it's literally just a Bolt. All right, there's a land. Sure. What have we here? Snapcaster Mage, perhaps? Indeed. So they've got a Helix held up, which is problematic in its own right. They go for it. Now, yeah, there's really no clean way to beat that. All right, so we'll let that through. They untap, see what they've got. They swing in. We go push. It resolves. Excellent. We crack the Delta. Mystic Sanctuary. Let's choose Cling. Cool. We untap, draw it. Let's go Swamp, and then we can commit to the Jace. Let's protect the Jace by Fate Sealing them one time. Remand. Do we care about that? Kind of. We'll put that at the bottom. All right. So let's see what they do here. See if they have anything at all. 3 cards in hand. They go Delver of Secrets. All right. I like this. Jesskai Delver. Mad respect, opponent. Let's go Snap. We'll hit the Bolt. We bolt the Delver. I don't want to flinch. I don't want to like cling and then have them be like, we're going to cast something in response, and then you're just toast. Double Opt. That's interesting. Do we go Fate Seal again? I don't think so. I think we just go Brainstorm. There's a Bolt. There's a K command. That's pretty good. Let's go Opt. Play the land tapped. So we have removal, which is great. So I think we can start swinging. What have we here? A Path? That's it? Yeah, that's fine. So they've only got 1 card, which means that we can cling, right? For the most part. Or we can go K command cling. Yeah, that's good. Okay, let's go K command. Force them to use it if they have anything. They do not. So now we can cling. Get the Snap. And now we're good to go. We're officially out of 3 damage range. We've got a Jace on board. We've got all the mana in the world. We've got an Opt. We've got a Bolt. They play an Opt. It looks like we were absolutely toast there for a minute, but it seems like we're stabilizing somehow, going all the way down to 2 life. Incredible. Let's go Opt. Snap, I like that. Okay, I think we're just gonna untap. Another Opt, that's fun. Let's go Brainstorm first. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Actually, do we Brainstorm or do we uptick? I think we're just gonna uptick. I know everyone and their mother is gonna be like, Brainstorm every time, but like Fate Seal here, they've got no fetches. They've got 1 card in hand. This seems really good, and I would love to put that on the bottom. Absolutely. So let's animate the Tar Pit. We swing in, take him down to 17. They draw 2 unknowns in hand. They go Steam Vents. That's excellent. That means that's what they drew because they would have played it long ago otherwise. So I think we can probably get away with going something like this. Let's go Cling, hit the Delver. Let's exile a bunch of lands. We gain some life. Excellent. Then we go Opt. Charm on top. I like that. Let's go Bolt. Let's get aggressive. Got him down to 14. Excellent. Double Charm. Okay, that's pretty ridiculous. Let's uptick. Hit them. Settle the Wreckage. Do we care about that? I don't think so. We can just switch gears and just stop attacking. Yeah, actually, I think we're fine. We've got Double Charm. We have a Jace that we can protect. It's going to get to ult long before we kill them with damage. So them having a Settle the Wreckage and an unknown is functionally worthless. We draw. We get a Falls. Let's play it. We uptick. All right, 2 more turns. Colonnade. Colonnade's annoying, but we can go Snap Push. Yeah, we'll leave that on top. We are most certainly on our way here. They draw the Colonnade. They play the Colonnade. If they had no play last turn, then they have no play this turn, as far as I'm concerned anyways. No real impactful play. They go Seagate. Interesting. Going for the hard drive play. Let's counter. See no reason to let them play that, just in general, just as a creature on the board. So they've got Settle the Wreckage in hand and nothing else. Mana Leak, phenomenal. Let's uptick 1 more time. Arid Mesa, yeah. All right, so they'll be able to attack once with a Colonnade. They've got to Settle the Wreckage. They're going to draw a land. That means we can go Snap Push with basically no worry at all. So I think we've got this. It was slow and meticulous, but we got there. They animate, they play the Arid Mesa, we go Snap, and they scoop it up. Excellent. Okay. So let's take a look. What do we want to do? I think Dreadbore is fine because of the running Delver, but so is Push, Bolt, that kind of thing. Even K Command, if it's like not flipped yet. Force of Negation is good for obvious reasons. Honestly, I think everything in this main deck is just tremendous. Now it's just a matter of, you know, do we just bring in the disputes? And if so, what do we cut? It's an interesting question. Clings are good. Clings helped us quite a bit, in fact, so I don't really want to cut those. The Remands are okay. They definitely have value for sure, but they're not as good as they would be against like an Uro deck, and they're running a lot of small, low CMC spells, so maybe the Remands just aren't good enough. We managed to get there with what we have now, so I think this should be fine. All right, so we've got a Force of Negation and double Snap. This is not great against something like Delver. This is fine against pretty much anything else. I really hate keeping this, but I think I have to. This is a great group of lands for what they're playing. All right, they go Hallowed Fountain. Now watch me eat my words. Oh, nothing. And there's a Jace. Let's go Watery Grave tapped. We don't want to help them out by lowering our life total. They play one of their flip lands, and nothing. Interesting. Very interesting. There's a Charm. Let's go Steam Vents tapped. Once again, we're not going to help them. And they pass. Interesting. They draw for turn. They go Plains. Yeah. I'm expecting like a Geist or something. That's going to be hard to deal with. Got 2 mana. There's a Seagate. Interesting. So is this just going to be double bolt? Indeed it is. Okay. Well, that's annoying for sure. And I could see how that would be a very powerful play. But honestly speaking, it's like not that big of a deal in retrospect. They've got a 2-1, and yeah, 2-1s can be powerful. But we have Force, Charm, Double Snap, Jace. We have everything that we need for the most part. There's a Sanctuary, very interesting indeed. Let's go basic island, preserving our life total even more. So it took a little bit of setup, but now we're kind of on our way here. Our opponent's got 5 cards in hand. Let's see if they have a land. They're going Soul Guide Lantern. Interesting. We have no reason to believe they're running Mana Tithe, although who wouldn't want to? Either way, let's hardcast the Force. It worked. Excellent. So they get to swing in for 2. They pass, we draw. There's a Mana Leak that's really good. Let's go Sanctuary, get that Force back. Ooh, what have we here? Is this a Helix? All right. Do we go Mana Leak here, or do we just let it through? I think we just let it through. We're not too worried right now. Can Mana Leak whatever they play, like let's say it's a 3 mana Teferi or something like that, or a Geist. All right, they go Colonnade. That's fine. They swing in. Let's go Snap. It resolves. Now let's see if it lives. 2 mana. Is this a snap of their own? It is. All right. There's a Mana Leak. That is what you want to see. So the snap gets countered. That's excellent. And we get to block the Seagate? Really? Wow. Jeez, I kind of feel bad. We draw the Force. Let's go Watery Grave tapped, and then we just jam Jace, right? We go Jace. We uptick, just in case. A part of me wants to put that on the bottom so they have less mana to be able to turn their Colonnade into a creature, but they need more mana than that. So I think we can just let them have it. They'll play the land, and if they don't play that land, then that means they had another. Well, either way, we'll figure this out. They draw their land, they play it, they're passing through. That's great for us. That is super good, in fact. We draw K Command. All right. Let's go Brainstorm. Cryptic, Snap, K Command. Yeesh. I don't know if K Command is enough right now. It's a great card, but is that what we want to be doing? Maybe not. And then like ship a Snap, play the land. Sure. Then what we can do is go tap draw with the Cryptic, and if they counter it for some reason, we can go Force, pitch, I guess Charm. We have no reason to pitch the Snap right now. We can also just hold up the fetch if need be. Whoa, what's going on here? Helix on the Jace? That's tremendous, honestly. They draw a card. All right, so on one hand, if the card they drew was a land, they get to animate their Colonnade, but on the other hand, it's a land, which is not necessarily what you want to be drawing at this point if you're our opponent. So we're in an interesting spot here for sure. I think we're going to crack this, get like a Steam Vents, that's fine. Put that in tapped. Do we have any reason to go blind Snapcaster Mage? I don't think so. Do we have any reason to go Charm? That I do think we should do. Let's go for it. There's a Kess. Now that's tremendous. Kess is real good. And there's a Charm. Excellent. So let's play a land. Let's crack it. It's getting a little dangerous here, but we can live. Let's go Kess. We brainstorm. What's great about this brainstorm is it's inviting them to cast a burn spell, which is just awesome. They don't realize that we can basically handle anything they throw at us in that regard. K Command, Cryptic, that's pretty good. Let's go Cryptic Cryptic, because we can't cast either of them. Now, do we want to go Ops, draw the Cryptic, Ops, draw the Cryptic, and then just hold up Force? I don't think we want to. See what they do. Will this be a path? It will. I think we definitely want to protect the Kess here. Oh yeah, we can just cast it from the yard. Great. God, this is a phenomenal card. Holy smokes. They cast a path, we cast one of our cards in the yard, and we're good to go. Our hand size is huge. This card is ridiculous. Let's see what they got. Is this a Teferi? Nope, it's animated. Okay. All right, I think we're going to block here because we can protect the Jace and then do some nasty shenanigans with K command, recast the Kess, and then just block again, which is pretty wild, actually. We go for it. We draw for turn. Cryptic. Okay. Let's start Fate Sealing. Lightning Bolt. Sure, we'll put that on the bottom. Then we can go return Kess, discard. Excellent. There goes their Seagate. Now we recast Kess just to block again, which is hilarious. And if they decide to cast anything instead of just animating the Colonnade, then we counter it with a Force. We have our Kess, and then we just dominate the game. There's really not much they can do in this position. Pretty much any choice they make hurts them in some capacity. Be it a waste of tempo, a waste of card quantity, pretty much anything. They animate, so we get to do this once again. They attack, we block, Kess dies. We draw for turn. Second Cryptic. Okay. Let's Fate Seal. Mountain. We'll let them have it. Now we can go Cryptic Command, tap draw to stop their attack dead in its tracks. And then we have Force backup. And then we're pretty much just going to do that again. Protect the Jace, and we'll be good to go. All right, here they go. Looks like they're animating once again. Begin combat. No problem. Let's go tap draw. See if they have any crazy follow-up, Mystical Dispute, Dispel, that kind of thing. Do we care about this? It's a tap draw. I don't think we really care at all. That's pretty great for us. Let's go opt. Bolt, like that. There's another Force. That's fine. Let's look at the top. Cleansing Wildfire. We could put that at the bottom. I really don't want to have to deal with that. We can go Bolt, Snap, Bolt on the Colonnade to deal with it, which is pretty great. Then we just have Force backup for anything they might have to deal with that. See what they do. They are trying once again. All right, here we go. Then they play a Mountain, which is interesting. Let's go Bolt. Then we go Snap. Then we go for it. Colonnade's dead. Good stuff. Not afraid of them just casting a random Bolt on the Snap or the Jace. We can always Force if need be. So we're just going to go Charm, draw to. Find a Bolt, find a Dispute. That's excellent. And there's a Sulfur Falls. How nice. Okay, let's look at the top. Helix. Put that on the bottom. Don't want to have to deal with that. We'll swing in for fun. I highly doubt we're going to win with damage this game, but that's fine. We have absolute control over this entire game. So if we win by damage, we did something wrong. Let's go Force. Gotta love the MTGO bug, even with Fate Seal. How about that? If the Lightning Helix they had on top was actually moved to the bottom, that's their fourth Helix. So they got one card left in hand. If it's really anything, we can just Force it, counter it, Mystical Dispute it. We're pretty much set. There's a Blood Crypt. We'll play it tapped. It's Fate Seal one more time. Delver, you can have that. That's fine. We can just bolt it. What have we here? Snap. Let's go Mystical Dispute. So now all they have left is a Delver, and that's not going to save them. But they're going to play it anyways. All right, we go Bolt, and they scoop it up. GG's, opponent. And there we have it. So how do I feel about this newer blue-heavy variant of Grixis Control? Well, truth be told, I actually think that the Forces are a huge asset. Not that I don't think the deck can perform without them, I just think that by allowing us to tap out a little bit more aggressively, we can end up leveraging our card advantage spells and win cons a little bit more, which is a huge deal. And I think this is an extremely positive direction to take any control deck, let alone Grixis. I'm still very much concerned about having to tackle both Uro and Field of the Dead in the same matchup, and if I'm being brutally honest here, I don't really think any amount of tuning is going to out and out solve that problem. But with that being said, having the Clings in the main board is a pretty good way to sort of stem the bleeding of the Uro problem, and that is hardly an opportunity cost. I will likely try out one or two more builds before I actually commit to a league, either on or off camera, and then once I'm happy with it, we'll take Grixis through the gauntlet and really test out its merit. I want to thank you all so much for watching and your overall support. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You guys know the drill. I appreciate you all so much, and as always, stay safe out there and have a good one.